What's up, guys? So yeah, let's go get this thing replaced right now. It's raining. I didn't even know it was supposed to rain today, but yeah, let's get everything started. Hopefully this clears up and I can maybe get a couple packs in today, but if not, I got some things I could probably work on. Maybe I'll get that Helio flight controller started. Alright, so made it a little bit early to Best Buy, but that gives me a little bit of time to go through all of your guys' comments and write back to you guys and everything. I try and keep up with that as much as possible, but with all these videos I've been putting out, sometimes I feel like it's a little overwhelming, but I'm trying to get there. But I don't want to stand in the rain like some people over there, so I'm just going to wait in here and do that, but yeah. Should be open pretty soon. I'm only like a couple minutes early. Alright, so that wasn't too bad. I love when they give me the whole box with everything in there. It's not bad. I get the extra USB-C cable, which I actually tend to lose quite a bit, so having an extra one is always good. But let's get going now. Seems like it's clearing up right here. There's like a patch of like sun, so it's good. Maybe I'll be able to get flying today. Alright, so back here in my space, and I'm going to open up the GoPro, get it charging and everything so I have a fresh battery. The weather isn't really the best for me to go fly or anything, so I'm going to make some repairs. I took out my camera out of the front of this thing. Nice thing about this is you can just take off these front two bolts here, and like the little standoff, like the whole pod basically comes out, so you can replace your camera. So the issue I had is it just kept shaking. It almost looked like I had like a bad tune, but I'm pretty sure it's the board inside the camera. So I'm gonna take that apart, see what's up with it, see what I could do to fix that, because I am like 99.8% sure that's what it is. It definitely is not my tune. My tune is like perfect. Probably not really. These batteries have been pretty kick-ass lately, but there's some new fire that's coming that I've been tooling around with, so just keep an eye out for these CNHL batteries. They've been really good so far with everything. But alright, let's open this sweet bad boy and get going on this camera and do a little bit of repairs. Alright, cool. So we are all set with the GoPro charging now. Let's get into figuring out what is up with this little Predator cam. This by far has been my favorite camera lately. The picture quality out of it has been quite nice. It took a little bit to get used to the CMOS kind of how it works. I don't know, like if there's really like a latency or something, but I don't know. It was a little different than what I'm used to, but now that I'm used to it, works quite nicely. So we're taking, there's this little bracket that makes it compatible to work on the spacing of my cam mount, so we'll pop that off. And first thing I'm gonna check is this little guy right here. Oh yeah, I could already tell this thing's loose. This part, I mean, I could wiggle it. I could literally move this. So something's definitely messed up inside there. Yeah, so the next thing is pop this open. It probably just needs like one of those little rubber spacers or something, or maybe that shifted and moved. I ever told you, like, it's always good to have like nice tools if you can to work on all your stuff. The fitment is always better. You don't strip out bolts, any of that stuff. It's weird. You know what's something weird about this camera too? It's like, it's a red camera and they just painted black over it. I don't know why they did that. But why does this have so much movement? And this was like a blue case. Like, check this out. So this was like a blue case on the inside. And this was like a red case on the inside. So kind of weird. Not quite sure why that is. Alright, so here is the little sensor and everything that's in there. That's a CMOS sensor. It's kind of cool. Kind of pretty good size sensor for this little guy. But I think what I'm going to do is put like a little bit of some double-sided stick on this side. That way it gives it a little bit of some pressure against the housing. And we'll see if that works. So since this could only go in like so far because it hits the little like bolt standoffs right there, this could only go in so far this way. You have to put a little bit of a pad on this side against the components here. So I just cut out like a little square right here. I'm gonna put that right in the center, and it's not much higher than any of the other components, so I feel like it should be just enough to give me enough pressure once I bolt everything down, because there is a line that goes across the edge, if you could see that, going around everything, and it's just enough to hold it up from there. So let's screw this in and see if it stops everything else from moving around. Okay, so I'm still having an issue with this, and I wasn't sure why, because usually having a little bit of extra pressure is a fix on these things. With this case, you have the two like bolt holes right here that kind of act as standoffs, and in these corners there's these little tiny little like a ridge that the other sides of the boards kind of stay on, and for some weird reason the board doesn't really contact this one too well. So I could either put something in this corner, like maybe a dab of hot glue or something, so it stays in there, or I could find another way to get it to hold in there. I know putting hot glue around the rim is a bad idea. You won't really be able to get the board out easily. I think putting something in here just to hold it up might be the trick. So yeah, that's the main problem with this one, is just that little ridge. Alright, so I got some super glue in these corners here, and now when I push this guy in, let's get it all straight, you can see there's very minimal movement now. Now it's holding in every corner correctly. So now I can screw this thing together. I'm not going to need the tape on the other side because I figured out why it was slipping. And this time we should be good to go. Ah, yes, much better now. Now I'm happy. Now the sensor's not going to be moving in there. Okay, cool. So now I can get this bracket and everything back on and get this camera back into the quad. Alright, so that was a pretty painless procedure. Alright, and we are good to go. Got it back in there. Everything's good to go. Remember guys, it's not always going to be your tune and everything that might be out of whack. Make sure you guys always check your gear and everything is good to go. There's sometimes this stuff that comes loose. Like in this case, the board was starting to come loose. I didn't know why. It was just a bad little camera housing and everything. Just double and triple check your gear before you just write it off to be in your tune, because most likely you guys do have a pretty good tune, and things usually that are like stock PIDs and stuff like that aren't far from being bad. So double check everything. Hope you guys like this video. If you guys do like it, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Hit that little button down there. I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to